out there. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. So what I want to do is real quick on an update for all of you. We are working on the updated website here. This is for the stuff that starts Monday, right? So this website is, you're going to be getting an email on this shortly, but this is the JavaScript training that starts Monday. And there's going to be, well, not Monday, correction. Monday's a holiday, right? So if you go to fmtraining.tv, you come down to the bottom over here, hit the live training, you scroll down. Today, some hamburger action. And then you got tomorrow, some more Nick. And then Friday begins Nick's vacation. So Nick will be off. And then Christian Olson will be there. I might be around on Friday as well to help out if I'm needed. Then Monday, President's Day, once again, the real Monday, which is Tuesday, the 21st, is the first day of the Leland Long JavaScript conversation. So we're going to be laying out this on this website here. You'll also be able to sign up and be reminded of this. Plus, there's going to be the free section of the training here. There will also be the paid section of the training right here that you'll be able to purchase and buy if you're interested. So it'll be about 2 weeks, I think, of free training, and then an additional week of some pretty gnarly stuff. The idea is that once you're done, you can write a front-facing executable app. You can run it on a lot of stuff, but you'd want to run it on Android, I think would be the most common one, that the item that we really don't solve very well on the FileMaker platform. It's something that Claris is always kind of was not essential for whatever reason. So Leland Long is like similar to live code, but solving it totally differently. They have an Android solution. He's going to show you how to use JavaScript to build a React native application, which is essentially a mobile app. And his goal is to actually build it so it talks to FM Starting Point. We're going to change the text on here a little bit. It's kind of hard to read, but it's basically the front end for a CRM. It doesn't have to be Starting Point. It could be anything. So the idea is that he's building that. It's kind of the anti-Nick, right? I think if you put Nick in a room and you put Leland in a room and they've met each other before, they can talk to each other, but at the end of the day, they're very, very different individuals. Leland is actually rebuilt and repurposed Pac-Man and Space Invaders and all sorts of stuff with JavaScript in FileMaker. It's hideously wild stuff. I'm sure we're going to see that at some point next week, but we're going to start off with the basics, the tools that we need, installing the tools. I'm going to get more of a better outline list for all of you folks there, but that's kind of the strategy of what's going on. That starts Monday. So if you want to learn about JavaScript, that'll be great. It will be recorded. That way, when we say something like, blah, 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 beep, and we have to beep it out, it'll be cleaned up. All right. So, Nick, are you ready to take over? Are you ready?
Yes. Okay. Today we do, hello. So today we do the second day on the this two-level burger kind of stuff, right? So today we're going to learn how to manipulate the windows, how to manipulate the keystrokes and stuff like that. So I was just finishing this because I did my homework, and so I have a pretty good sample file to give you, but I have I know I'm going to modify it before the end, so I'm going to do that. So okay, so this is a sample file. So we have only the burger and stuff like that, and we have some examples that works, like the accounts, the contact, estimate, but it's just examples, right? When you go nowhere, right? It's just empty. It's just for the builder, kind of what's the name? The Hamburger Menu demo, right? So so today we're going to work on the windows, right? So how to deal with the windows and cast style window and stuff like that, right? Because obviously here we do some stuff here. So first, when you open the cast style, right? So you open the burger, you get this, and then we can navigate and open another window, right? So pretty much is modifying the size of the current window here, right? So yesterday we learned how to position a cast style window with a content 8, right? The window content 8, right? And now we're going to learn how to resize the window. So it's pretty simple, right? So you just move, you know. So you move the window, right? But you keep the top and the left on to 0, right? So when you move the window, so you move resize, right? That's the same script step, right? So you move resize the window, right? And then you go to the layout where you want to go, right? And you solve. So when you close this, when you click again, right? We do the same thing. So we go back to the window, the size that was before, and you go to the layout, right? So I do it again. So move resize, boom, right? And we go to the window. So I'm going to explain why I name the window, because you can name a CASTAR window because it's a window, right? So you can name it. So I name it because if you have two windows, right, like this, and if you go there, I want this car style to go away. So let me explain. So this we're going to learn that all today, right? But I'm going to show you what happened. I have two windows, right? Two main windows, this one and this one, right? So let's close this, right? This one and this one. And if I open a burger on another window, I want that burger to close, right? So here what happened. I click here, this one close and this one open. So because I don't want two burger open, right? We don't want that. It doesn't look good, right? So we want to transfer the burger when we have the burger open here. We click here, right? So this is what will happen. When I open the burger, I close whatever window name, right? That is open in any of the windows, right? So I close this, so this closed, but I don't get the focus on this. I just close the window. So FileMaker, you can close the window by name. So wherever the window is and whatever is a cal style, right? Just you need to name the window, right? For example, here, I close the previous burger menu, right? And then now I open a new one, right? And I'm setting the window title I want. So I have to explain many things here, right? First, why we have this current nav number, right? Why? So I'm going to explain that. And what is the name of the window? So the name of the window will be whatever the burger menu and the current nav number, okay? So now I have a window open. So this window here, if I go there and I get the window title, window title or window name, okay? So I have this. So I don't have the nav number because I have a bug on my what's the name? Sample file that I'm building, but I'm going to fix that for tomorrow. So everything that is built on the number, I'm going to explain that tomorrow. But we name the window. Each time we open a new one, we name the window and we close it because we don't want two burgers together, right? So each time I'm opening a new one, it close this one, it open this one. If I do this, it close this one, open this one. You know, I'll do this, this, and this, right? So this is to get one burger at a time, okay? So now we have this navigation between two sides of windows, and so we resize the window, and we and we navigate through those two layouts, right? So we have two layouts. Remember, we have two layouts. Up, I need to close this one. We have two layouts. We have one layout with the main navigation, the menu, right? And we have another layout. It's the same but extended. You know, it's the same layout, designed the same, but extended. Okay, so we have the item here. So each time we resize the window, we go to one, and when we shrink the window, we go to the other one. Okay. But now, what I want to do, right? So do we have any questions so far?
We do actually. If it is
Okay.
resized, is it not better to use the same window?
It is the same window. So let me do it again. I open a window here. We have one window, right? And here I move the window. I move resize the window. It's the same. It's the same script step, right? So that's the same window. I'm not closing it, right? Never close it, because if you close, you lose where you were, right? So you move, you set the title, and you go to the layout, okay? So it's not, it's not complicated. It's just a move window, right? It's the same as if I do this and move resize window, right? Okay. So you can put the name of the one you want, but I want the current window, and I put the distance from top and and the size. If I want to do this here, right? If I do this now, it moved this, boom, right? So it's the move window. Any other question?
Okay, can't use the same layout?
No. No, because I have two treatments. Okay, I'll show you what. This layout here, I want to keep it with one design. And here you can see I have a different design, right? So, and if you do something like this, I'll tell you, move. The minimum, so the 0, 0, and the width to 341. If I do this, I could do this, I could keep the same layout, but this is what happened. You can move, you can slide, you can scroll, right? So this is not good at all, right? So I could do this, but it's not good at all, right? It's not. This is better. So you have this, we don't dance just up and down. And when you open it, you have an extend, and we don't scroll horizontally, right? Otherwise it looks bad, and you can lose people that don't understand, right? So we have two layouts, one, and the layout and the window, it's perfectly sized with the layouts. And then you don't have this dancing kind of a scrolling vertical or horizontal, right? So it's bad. Otherwise, it's very bad. If you do something like this, look what happened. Where's the move? If I do some, so let's say I have a smaller window, right? I do this, and then I shrink the same layout. Look what happened. You can, you can dance like this. You can, it's kind of very cumbersome, right? So no, we don't want that to happen. Let's talk about, the scrolling, the navigation with the keyboard, right? This. So what happened here, right? So arrow up, arrow down, right? You can do this. So what happened? Each time I stroke a key, I have a on layout keystroke kind of script, right? And here I'm playing with the keystroke number, right? So I did this demo many times, but I'm going to repeat it, So I put that 2 line here on top. It's for debug purposes. then you know what you're striking, right? It's showing the dialogue of what you strike. So if I strike the letter D is number 100. I have no modifier key, which is Option, Control, Shift. I have none of those, and the original letter is D. Okay. If I strike a capital E, so I struck number 69. That the key number, the ASCII code, right? With the modifier key 1, and the original is capital E. But now what happens if I stroke tab, for example? Tab is 9. The tab key has a number, right? What about the spacebar? Spacebar has a number, it's 32, right? What about the escape key? It's 27. What about carry return? It's 13. And what about enter? Enter, it's 10, right? So 13, right? And 10. It's carry return, enter. You have two type of key here, right? You can have two, right? With the same key. Escape 27, spacebar 32. So you know, right? The key you struck, right? So, and the arrow down has a number, 31. Arrow up has a number, 29, right? So now with all those keys, with all those numbers, you can hijack the number and tell the script to do something. So on the layout, the trigger that collects that information is the on layout keystroke. This is when you strike a key, right? And you strike a key and you launch a script just by striking the key, right? Like, for example, one day somebody asked me, is it possible to prevent that, right? See, when you have nothing and you strike this, right? So here what you can do for that, to avoid this. Somebody asked me this, I don't remember what, okay? So let's do it because it's a good demo for the on keystroke, okay? So on keystroke, you put the Alt. So what that will do, if I put the Alt on this keyboard, on this layout, for example, right? Nothing will happen, right? I type, nothing happened. But it happened something. It happened this, Alt. So whatever you strike, right? Alt, strike, tab, enter, everything I'm striking, it's Alt, okay? So now we can play a little bit, right? We say if get, the trigger keystroke, right? Equal 9, which is, right, tab. We don't do the Alt, right? We want to go to next field, for example, right? Else, Alt. So you hijack. So if you type something, but okay. But if you tap tab, something will happen. But I have nothing here, right? If I tap tab, is 9 or I don't remember. Hold on. Or 19. I don't remember. Hold on. On layout keystroke, where's the trigger? Yeah. Okay. I need to get this too. Let me post this to here and do this. Okay. What's the tab key? Yeah, it's 9. If, oh, sorry. We need to code this. Okay. I explained that many times what code is. We get the code, the ASCII code of the key we stroke, right? So I want the key, right? So if I press any key, nothing happened. Alt. But if I press tab, okay, that's good, right? So now I want to go something else. Then I'm stopping this demo because, you know, but it's a good demo to learn how the keystroke works, right? So I don't want this, but I want to say not, okay, is empty the get active field name. So that means you have a, you know, you have a field active, right? In that case, I do nothing, right? Just, you know, do it, right? So because here I can type. If I remove this, I cannot. So I need this to say, okay, if not is empty, the active field, do nothing. Just let it go, right? So you put something like this. You let it go, otherwise alt. So now we have somebody asked me to prevent to have this freaking message, you know, this message. This is how you do. So I want to use this because it's a way for you to learn how to, it's a good way for me and for you to learn and for me to demonstrate the keystroke, how it works. Okay. So now we have a functional layout because I have the key there, you know, go to the next, you know, so if I do, a tab order, you know, I say 1, 2, 3, no, I want 1, no, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now I have, so if I say tab, I'm going there, you know. So the tab works, right? But I cannot do anything, you know, oops, I cannot do anything. It doesn't pop the message, right? It doesn't pop the message. Actually, I don't need this. So I just need to do this. If the code, let it go. If this, let it go, else alt. Because now it works. Otherwise, it will skip twice the tab, you know. So the tab works now, right? But if I tap, I have nothing. But if I go there, I can type. Okay? Question about this?
Yes, we have one from David Angel.
Yes.
Where is it? Oh, Discord is being funky. There we go. Never mind. I assume that you got answered, David? Original. What do you mean by original? Question mark.
Oh, the original is the key. If I press F, it's a F. But I have a caps lock. If I remove caps lock, F is you know, the original. So this dialog I'm showing the code of the keystroke, the modifier key of the trigger modifier key, and the keystroke itself. Because the keystroke, because we don't have a character for, okay, let me explain. Arrow down, arrow up, tab, spacebar, escape. We don't have a character. We cannot say, oh, if, we cannot say if get keystroke equal space. We don't have this. We can say if equal D, F, E, we can say that, but we cannot say if equal arrow down. I don't have I cannot say, because if I struck, look, if I struck arrow down, original is empty. I have no character. The key exists. It's number 31. That the code on the ASCII characters. But I have no visual representation of the spacebar, of no glyph attached to the spacebar or the other arrow down. I only have the code. That's why this work with the code. This also work with code. So here we have, so I have here, for example, I have this. I want the spacebar, the return, or the enter to do something. Then I have the arrow down that do something with the alt, right? You see? So how you play with this? So let me explain. I want to go to the first, last, because I'm saying if I have the modifier key 8, modifier key 8 with the 31, then, so if I have 31 here and this equal 8, I want to go to the last. Otherwise, I want to go to the next. Arrow up, if I have the 29 and I have the 8, I want to go to the first. Otherwise, I want to go to the previous. This is how you play with this. Don't try to combine both. It will be a nightmare to combine both. You say if it's 29, because that will be good on both cases. That will be good on both cases. 29 is good on both cases. But this makes the difference between this and this. Only this. 29 is the same on both cases. I press the arrow up without the modifier key is 29. If I have the modifier key, arrow up is 29 and 8. Right? You understand? So this is how we do. So we get the keystroke, right? And to avoid, okay, so here I'm explaining, to avoid having if and 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 like to avoid this, you do that way. If this exists, perform this and forget about it. Right? Alt. If this exists, do it. If this exists, do it. And if this exists, do this, alt. So then you can have blocks of ifs, and you don't have embedded kind of, many complicated if. This is how you build this. You have blocks, and they are independent. I could have put an alt here, but I don't want, because it's blocking too much. But it's not necessary. When it's necessary, you can put the alt. When it's not necessary, you just let it go. What the arrow up do? Arrow up, I'm going to arrow up. I don't have this. Go to the previous record. And that's why this is directly to the table. Even though this is a polar, so let me show. Even though this is a polar, but it's a portal that goes to the current. It's a polar that goes to the current table. So whatever I do here is the same as going to the next record, or previous, next. First, last. That's why this current table polar is cool, because it follows the current record, the current active record, right? And it shows that it activate the record that belongs to the record here. If you do that with the old way, you remember the old way we do this, it was totally unsynced. But now with this current table poll, we have this ability, right? That's why the script here works. Arrow up, arrow down, right? So now I have this, and I can say escape to close, right? Escape, close, right? That's the space bar, but this one. The escape here, close, right? So I close the window with escape. When I hit escape, I go there, stop, close, halt. So I have from the customer has a trigger, so I needed to stop the trigger. So that's why I have the trigger on and off here. Okay. So that's why I have this, but I can remove it. I don't need it, but it's okay. So now what we have this, so we know how to navigate up and down. That's easy, right? Up and down, and our last first, right? Last, I will go up. First, I go down. Okay. Playing with the Alt key, right? Alt, arrow up, arrow down. Okay. So that's easy. But now we have another one. We have spacebar, return, cartridge return, or spacebar, do this. Let me go to spacebar, right? And if I press spacebar again, boom, so see? So that's why I have multiple layouts, because with one layout, the spacebar do something. In this layout, the spacebar will just do this, right? Go to the next menu, and I refresh some buttons and Alt, right? So that is I close a little bit too much. Where's the menu? Okay. So spacebar, go to the next, right? But when I am here, I'm in another layout. So I have two trigger. I have the A and the B. The one in the burger closed, which is this one, and the one in the burger open, which is this one. There are two layouts. So for me, it's easy to do that. So in this layout here, the closed one, I'm doing the A, and in this one, I'm doing the B, right? So far, so good. So when you press spacebar in this layout, it stretch the window and go to the next layout, to the B layout, the open layout, right? But when I am in this layout here, okay, the spacebar do something else. The spacebar do the toggle, right? Between two objects. So this, because I navigate here, but if I press spacebar, I navigate here, right? See? So how we do this? Okay. So of course we need to name objects, because we're going to use the get object attributes, get layout object attributes. Okay. the get layout object attributes, right? The get layout object attributes. So let's go to the help right quick. We have, it's a multifunction, it's a function really, advanced. So we have the object name and we have the attribute name. In the attributes, what is interesting for us is the as focus. Okay. So which one has the focus? So that means which one I am in. And also that's why I'm using portals. Okay. Portals are objects that I can identify. If I was using another technique, it wouldn't have been possible. So I have two portals here. This one and this one. They have names, they have names. So what this one is portal menu item and this one is portal menu. So the object attributes, so this function here, which I use extensively, especially when you want to build stuff like this, right? So that's what you need to do. So let's go there, and do this, So if I go, so here we have this, right? So here, if I go there and I do this, and here now, because I have, it says 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay. So why? Is because this here, I'm going to the object. When you go to the object, you give the object a focus. Go to object is how you give the object a focus. Okay. So a field, you can use go to field. But for anything else than a field, you can go to object. But even if, for example, let's say I'm here, right? And I have a field here, this field, and I'm going to give a name, field name. Okay. I'm going to give a name on this field, right? And here I have an on or a go to object, right? So I have a go to object and I say go there. Okay. So now I'm going to modify this and I say, okay, the field name has focus, right? So now if I go there and if I play with this go to object, see there it says 0, right? But if I play this, go to object, give me the focus on the field. Go to object, if it's a field, it goes to the field. It's like go to field. Pretty much go to object, because we cannot say go to field by name. We cannot do that. We don't have a go to field by name. We don't, go to field, that's all what you have. And we need to select the field hard-coded, right? We cannot say go to field calculated, because here I can put a calc, right? So go to object is when you want to go to a field by name, you need to name the field. You cannot put the name of the field here. You need to put the name in the layouts to the field. Okay. But that was a aparté, right? So now you know how we use this two things. So it's very simple, by the way, because it's nothing it's very straightforward. I say, if the portal menu items, that mean this, as the focus, go to the other one. Otherwise, go to the portal menu item. And refresh, alt. So press again. So let's say this has a focus. And I press this has a focus and okay. this as a focus, and I press escape, spacebar. So now this has a focus, and I go to the other one. Boom. Right? And refresh. And if I do it again, this one has no focus, then I go to the, so it's toggling. Which one has a focus? Boom, I go to the other one. If the other one doesn't have focus, I go to the other one, right? It's very simple. It's very simple. So now that we know how to dance between one object to another one, so it can be spacebar, or it can be casual return, or enter, whatever. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay. So now how I'm navigating, so I'm going to do a little explanation on how we do this visual, how we do the visual. You saw the visual changing a little bit, okay? So we go there, and here I have a conditional formatting playing with the same technique. If the if the focus is on the item, that means if the focus is on the other one, then make it a little bit lighter. Same for the text, right? For the button. If the portal item, if this portal has a focus, then make it light gray, more lighter, okay? Lighter gray, right? That's why I have this effect. See, is dark gray, dark blue, light gray. And then I have this. I have the same technique on this one. This one here, right? I'm playing with this here as well, but where is the oh yeah, but I'm okay. Here it's different. I'm playing with the button in focus state. Okay. So this is what I'm doing here to have this effect. Okay. This is, oh, no. The portal, sorry. The portal, the row, you have the active state. So when I'm going there, right? So when I'm going there and I am actually showing the active state of the portal, okay? Because I'm activating the portal. So when I'm going there, I'm going outside the portal. Here, I'm going inside the portal, and this, what's the name? This light gray background you see is coming from the portal row active state, right? So now that we saw how we play with those object attributes, the portal row active state, because this is what I'm showing here. How we navigate now here, in the portal, how that happened. So when I press the arrow down, for example, here, right? So we have exactly the same, right? So we go to the portal row next. I am in the portal. So we have a go to next record, or we have a go to portal row next, right? That exists as well. So it's easy to navigate from this too, right? So now that we have two techniques here, right? Arrow up and down use their go to next record or go to previous record. When I am in the portal, it's going to the next previous portal row. Okay. So now the distinction is to make which one is doing which, because I am in the same layout. So when I'm here, I want to go to the next portal row. And when I'm here, I want to go to the next record. Also, thanks to our friend, the get layout object attributes, right? So I'm saying if the code is 29 and it's not this on focus, I want to, is going to record. But if it's 29 and this one has a focus, I want to do this, right? So I want to go to the next portal row. So this is what makes the difference between the two. It's not focus or it has focus. Okay. So why I'm doing this, why I'm doing not, and why I'm not, why I'm doing and not putting the other name is because, then you have to take care of one name. You don't have to take care of two names. And you see here, if it's not this, do this. If it is this, do that. Okay. So it's my preference. You could have put the name of both objects, right? It's okay, but I prefer to deal with one name of an object and say not in front, and it's easier for me. So this is what we do to navigate, to switch from two objects that they are the same, they are portals, but one portal, it's a current table portal, and I can use the go to next record, right? And the other one, it's a related portal. We cannot use the go to next record. We have to use the go to next portal row, right? So do we have any question?
So if an object is selected, then apply conditional formatting.
Don't get the question. If the object is selected, no, the conditional formatting will work on all time. It's not because it's selected. The conditional formatting will say whichever is selected. So the demonstration here is there. We can use conditional formatting playing with the object attributes, which is powerful, right? Because whatever you select or you in or you are, whatever object has the focus, then you can activate a conditional formatting. As well, activate, like a button if you want. And you can activate this, the hidden state. So if you because that works too, right? So if I'm here, if I'm doing this and I refresh, because you need to refresh in that case, right? Or everything that has no validation, you need to refresh. Let me explain. Here I have no validation. That means I have no modification, no validation action like modification of a field. Field has a validation. When you have a validation, it refresh objects. If you have no validation, object won't refresh itself on the hidden states and many other things, right? For the hidden state, you need to refresh the object. So here, for example, I should have said, I named this test, and I should have add something here, refresh object, add test, right? In that case, it will work. Why not? Oh, I'm not in the good one. Yeah. Or maybe I'm not in the, oh, okay. Yeah. Here. Okay. See? The button show up and disappear when one is as of the focus and the other one has focus. See? Focus, 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 focus. So it's cool, you know? We imagine what you can do there, right? But it needs to refresh. And no, don't use refresh window. Okay? No. You put the name of the field, of the object you need to refresh. Don't refresh the window. This is way too big. Don't. You refresh the object, you know. Question?
Why not refresh window?
Because it's too big. It has too many implications. Okay, let me explain. Refresh window is not a small thing, you know, it's a big event. Here, yes, I could have done that. I could have said, okay, you know, forget about this, and refresh the window. But on iOS, you have a flickering effect. On WebDirect, you have a flickering effect. Here you don't, you know, because you can do it. You can do it. To me, it's dirty, right? Because this has much less implications than, you know, the refresh window. It's you know, I don't like to use a technique that I cannot use, and I don't want to display a technique that you cannot use on iOS and you cannot use on WebDirect. You know, refresh window is a big event. It's a huge event, right? And I don't like to use it. I use it really rarely, really rarely. Yeah, because an object is faster. Yeah, that means, okay, we want to do clean job here, right? So yeah, you can, you know, you can use refresh window and boom, you can do it, right? But if we have refresh object, that's a reason, right? And if we have refresh poll, that's a reason as well. Okay, it's because it's not a big event. You know. But you know, if you have 200 people on the network and you refresh everybody refresh window, you know, it's I don't know. Look, it's you can do whatever you want, but I don't like it personally. So I prefer to, you know, to feel the pain and put the name of the buttons. And sometimes I hate myself because I forget a button, and so you understand. But you know, but you have a technique, for example, you know, something like this. You know, since we talk about refresh, right? Because people say yes, but what happens if I want to if I have this button, this button, this button, this button, and I want to refresh this button and this button. I have all of those. First, what you need to know that each hidden states, right, are like unstored calculations. Okay. So you need to be careful what you do here. I'm not going to do this, right? I'm going to group those buttons. I'm going to put a hidden state in that button. So now I have only one calculation. Before I had 6. Now I have 1. I put test here, which is the name of the object I put in my test here, right? And look what happened now. All of them hides and all of them refresh. So because you name the group and you put the hidden state on the group. Other good technique you can use, and I demonstrated that to a customer of mine yesterday, is this technique. Okay. So let's say I have this button here, So let's copy this, because buttons groups has a problem. To manipulate groups, sometimes it can be like, problematic. So this is the technique I use, right? So let's say I have all those buttons here. So let's align them. I have those buttons, and I want to hide them, but I want to group them. So you use a slide control, a unique slide control. There's one panel only, okay? And you make it transparent, right? You put the slide control here, right? You put on the back, you place those objects in the slide, because now they are in the slide. All those buttons now belongs in the slide. They're not grouped. Okay, hold on. They are not grouped. They are inside the slide. I can hide the slide, show the slide not grouped, but if I apply the hidden state on the slide and I name the slide test, I have the same effects, same results. Right? So not grouped, hidden state on the slide, and the name on the slide. Advantage, you will never break the hidden state, because you don't group and group. You know what I mean? When you ungroup and group, you break. It says, oh, you have a hidden state calculation on top. You never break it, right? You can move around. You can name it. So you have all the benefit of a group without the inconvenience. Question from Twitch. Would it be simpler to check for the keystroke and then within that, if that checks to see if the poller has focus? I don't understand the question, but simpler to test on what? I need to know if I am in that poller or in that one. So I need to know. So how to know, right? Get layout object attribute has focus, because that is the purpose of that function. The purpose of that function, get layout object attributes, that's the purpose. We have other attributes, right? Contain focus, right? So that is for another type of object, like tab panel, slide panel, button bars, buttons, popovers, charts, groups. Okay. Contain focus, So that doesn't apply on pollers. This apply on pollers. This apply on all of them. This applies on some of them. Okay. Could be, so depends if you are on the object itself or in the objects. So this will have work on both. Yeah, this will have work on both. But this one is enough. I don't need to know if I am inside the object itself, like just what I need to know is that I am here. I don't need to know if I'm here. Oops, sorry. See, I don't need to know if I am inside. This is contain focus. contain focus. I don't need to know that. I need to know if I am in that object, right? That's all what I need to know. I know I am in that object because I click on it. That's all what I need to know. I don't need to know if the contain focus, if I am in one row, if one row is active, right? I don't need to know that. So that's the difference between those two. If using a remote desktop like AnyDesk, I don't know what remote desktop. Oh yeah. David, it's a comment. Yeah, no. The refresh window, yeah, if you are like in remote desktop or stuff like that, refresh window can be, and on Windows also you have some flickering effect. You have a more flickering effect than on Mac. Okay, it depends on many aspects. We're talking about the refresh window, right? Okay, so
I have a follow-up comment from Twitch that I'm posting at the moment.
yeah. So this technique of navigation is good for everything, right? So I could have, this navigation, this one, right? Go to next. I can put it here. I can put it here and go to next, with arrow up, arrow down. We don't have this with FileMaker. Arrow up, arrow down. Go to go to last, first, last, first, last, first, next, previous with the arrow, we don't have this. So you can build this. It's the same, so you can put this, right? So let me put back this one. I like this one. And you can put, you can, I have this one now on the layout, we can do this, we can do this one, right? You copy and paste because they are, so here, if tab, we can put this, right? So now I have everything, so I can deactivate this. So I don't have this freaking message at the beginning. If you strike something, don't have the message. The tab works, obviously, right? And I have arrow up, arrow down. Oh no, because I have the alt here. So yeah, so I need to remove this. Arrow up, arrow down, tab. Yeah, and I need this. So let's put this a little bit before. Yeah, I need the else. Alt. Because otherwise, so I need the alt here, right? So now I have everything. So nothing happened. Tab works. Arrow up, arrow down. Right? So you can do whatever you want. You say, okay, I want escape, I want something. Or, I want delete. Oh, the delete. Oh, good demo. Good demo. The delete. Right? So I have a delete key is oops. No, not here. The delete key is this, is 8. Okay? So I said this. If code, so I'll duplicate this. If 8, right? Delete. Look at this. If this, I want delete record because we don't have, we have the command, the control E, right? So I want this. I want to hijack my own, So delete record request with the dialog, right? That's it. Delete. Abstract delete, Oh, error. Because now here. So delete, cancel, delete. I don't want to delete this, but I can if I create a new one, I want to delete, say, okay, I want to delete this. Okay, delete, just with one key. So I hijack the Command E stuff here, this one. I want just delete. You can do whatever you want, right? It's cool. And let's say you have no privileges, right? You have no privileges. So you can, okay, I'm stopping here because otherwise we can stay all day. You're currently checking keystroke code. An object has focus within the single if statement. Break the logic into two separate steps. Then you're grouping this keystroke into the first test and branching beneath that. Oof. You're currently checking keystroke. Oh, those two. You're currently. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's you mean about this. You mean about this one. Okay. Yeah, but I have the alt complication. You understand what I mean? So I don't have only this to take care of. I have the alt complication. So yeah. Yeah, but I already have one. I have the alt. You forget about the alt code to go. You forget I have this one. So that means I have 3 ifs. And this is okay, the end. This is okay because otherwise to read this script, because I have a lot of them. So to read this script will be like whoosh. So I wanted to limit because I have the alt combination and I have this also consideration. So you understand what I mean? So if I add another if on all of them, because I need to add this if on this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. It's a lot of ifs. So here I have the alt. So I cannot put the alt on this one because I have this consideration on the alt. You understand? So that's why otherwise I would have said and. I would have said and alt, right? But I prefer to do that. Okay. So otherwise that's a lot of if. Okay. It's a preference. I read that. It's I mean code 31 arrow down and not, right? So I'm reading and get and not. So it's both will work, but you add an if. So that start to be ugly. Look this, and if. You remember what I said? Let's limit this. I have enough and ifs here. It's otherwise it start to be a little bit cumbersome to read. Here it's okay. I can separate this, right? It's separate well. I would have put the alt inside this one too, but I prefer to do something like this. It's more readable, right? It's more readable, and you see that I take the time to put whatever the 10 is, because sometimes I don't remember which 10, which 32. So I know space bar, enter, return, arrow down, alt, right? So I give myself some indication inside the code, right? And I prefer than doing that way than doing that way, right? Or alt key, because it's hard to read this, this easy, right? So as much as I can, I'm doing this. I'm putting comments next to the number. So now I know this is arrow down, right? It's part of the line, right? and it doesn't look ugly, and it gives me all the indication I need, right? You see?
But
Yeah, yes, it's otherwise it will continue. It will do this, and then it will do this. But I want to, okay, I could have done, I could have put that all here and here and here and here and here. Okay. So because this, you optimize your code. So let me show, yeah, we go. Let me just terminate this, and then we go. I need to go too. You optimize your code, no? So the first, I'm putting the first that will happen. The first that will happen is the space bar. That's the one I want the faster, right? Then this one, then I have this one. But when this one's done, I don't want anything else to happen. So go away. Go away. So you optimize your code, right? So you say, okay, oh no, by the way, I want this piece to happen before the other one. Or let's say, you know what I mean? So maybe arrow up and arrow down, I want that first, So I'm taking this block, right? And I want that to be first in my code. So that now will get priority. So now when I trigger, right, that will be the priority. So that will be the first happening, and bam. So you gain in performance for sure. And it allows you to do something like this. When you press a key, and you continue to I don't know, space, you press a key, continue, right? And if I press arrow right, arrow left, I press, it goes until the end. Okay. So I want that I want that to happen. So I press the arrow down key and I keep pressed. Arrow up key, I keep pressed. So I keep the natural behavior, and it's not slow because you optimize your code. And this is how you optimize your code, right? So let's do the same here. I want the arrow down to happen on the first. And why the arrow down first is because when you land here, right? So you will go down first. If you want to use that, you go down first, right? So let me clean up this. So if we don't have any other question, we can go.
I think we're good. Thank you very much.
Okay. That was interesting.
It was. We've got tomorrow too to finish it up.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good one. We will see you back tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!